Welcome to SportsBanter. This is Bryce, and I'm joined by Luca. And today we're doing AEW Double or Nothing review. And wow, Luca, you were there in person. How was that experience?
It was awesome. It was completely packed at Daly's place, 5,500 people in attendance. And that was for sure. I maybe saw one or two empty seats, but I'm pretty sure every single ticket was bought. It was crowded. It took forever to get in, but it was awesome. Met some cool people there. Really cool experience. Yeah, Daly's place is an awesome venue. It's open air. It's beautiful around that Jacksonville area, and I just recommend if you're able to go. It's worth it. It was such a good time.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I can't wait. I know Dynamite's coming to New Orleans January 12th, so I'm gonna have to get tickets for that because I'm hyped for that.
Definitely. Yeah,
I know this was your second AEW show that you've ever been to, and I'm trying to get to my first.
Yeah. This one was definitely better than the Atlanta show, given that was just a normal Dynamite. That Dynamite show was great with that Cody versus Wardlow match in the cage. But, I mean, this is a pay-per-view. And even if I didn't go live, in my opinion, this is one of the better AEW pay-per-views. I mean, it's not like they've ever had a truly terrible one, but this one might be up in my favorites of pay-per-view wise.
Yeah, I think this one was very good. And now, yeah, like you said, there was no, bad AEW pay-per-view. I think, would you go to say, I know I said I wasn't going to compare these, but do you think this show was better than last year's Double or Nothing?
I know I had previously messaged you about the Stadium Stampede match, which we'll get into that.
Right.
But the overall event, I liked this year's better than last year's.
I kind of agree. Only for the fact that I don't remember a lot of the matches besides from last year. I feel like this year's is more memorable.
Yeah, I remember the Stadium Stampede match, and I remember Moxley versus Brody Lee. Oh, yeah. And Cody versus Lance Archer. That was there. But
those are the only three that I remember too.
Yeah.
I mean, those were good matches, but still.
Yeah, definitely. I get what you're
saying. But let's get started. So first was the pre-show match that neither of us knew about until maybe like a couple days before the show, and it was Serena Deeb versus Riho, and Serena Deeb won by submission.
Yeah, the crowd was electric for this match. Which Serena Deeb versus Riho, I wouldn't really think so. To be fair, Riho was the first AEW Women's Champ, but this is not even really isn't for an AEW belt, so
right.
But the match was surprisingly good. Again, take my comparison or take my opinion with it different from Bryce's because I was there live. Bryce was watching on TV. Or take our opinions on it differently because we're different people. But I really enjoyed this match. 7 out of 10 for me. As you said, Deeb got the retain of the belt, but I think that was probably the right decision. I was pulling for Riho, but it was a good match. 7 out of 10 for sure.
I would go as far to say as I'm not surprised that this match was good. I was expecting this match to be really good when it was announced. Serena Deeb versus Riho is an amazing matchup. I mean, if I'm not wrong, these two have wrestled in AEW before. I'm pretty sure they...
I'll take your word on that, but I'm not sure.
In the women's tournament in the first round? I'm pretty sure they wrestled, and they had like one of the best matches of Dynamite.
I don't know. After seeing
I might be wrong.
After seeing Serena Deeb live, she's pretty underrated. I'll say that. Yes.
Oh, I
did
totally
wrestle
agree.
In the first round. They wrestled in the first round, and Riho won.
Yeah, that match is what kind of forced a lot of people to like get on AEW's ass about showcasing the women. Was that match, their first match. And now their second match was just another amazing matchup. And I love how Serena Deeb just during the match used those heel tactics and really worked the crowd. Luca, wasn't the crowd kind of against Serena Deeb when Serena Deeb was using like heelish tactics.
Yeah, there was definitely more Riho chants than there were Serena D, but it wasn't like everyone was completely against her. She was definitely like the
Yeah,
heel in
no.
the match, but at the same time she wasn't that much of a heel. But
I
compared to
I
Riho, she was
yeah.
the heel.
I think it was a surprise. I just wasn't
Yeah.
expecting it to happen like that. But I think the crowd really reacted well
Yeah.
to that. But that was a pre-show match. Enough with the pre-show. We're going to move on to the main show. And the first match was Hangman Adam Page, going against the Machine Brian Cage. And I think that this match was maybe the second best match of the night. It was an amazing match for an opener.
Yeah, a lot of these matches I need to watch back. In all honesty, I might have to rewatch the whole pay-per-view back. But
Right.
yeah, I have this rated pretty high. For an opener of a pay-per-view, this is probably one of the best openers I've seen for a pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome. The Machine Brian Cage literally came out as like RoboCop or the Terminator. I forget what it was. He came out as like a literal machine.
I think it was a Terminator.
I think it was the Terminator too, but I couldn't tell for a second. I just want to say Brian Cage is massive in person. I already knew he was massive, but he is gigantic. It was a great match. Everyone was on Hangman's side, obviously, but it was so good. I liked the ending with Brian Cage sort of like saying, no, I don't want to be doing the heelish tactics.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of John Cena versus CM Punk in Money in the Bank 2011. Yeah, this was a great match. 8 out of 10 for me. Really, really enjoyed it.
Exactly. It was a lot of heavy hitting action, and that was, it got the crowd excited. And like you said, it came across on pay-per-view extremely well. Hangman Page was extremely over.
Yeah.
And we could all tell. And that's awesome. Given that people feel like, Hangman Adam Page lost steam because he wasn't in too many like high profile feuds since he lost the AEW World Tag Team Championships. But it's great to see that Hangman Adam Page is still, over with the crowd.
Yeah, and to the people that feel that way, they're not necessarily wrong. He has had his little thing with the Dark Order, but he hasn't done much. For a wrestler as good as him to not do as much as what he should be doing, it's a little weird. I think he's just in that weird. He is in that weird spot where he is in the elite, but the elite's not really a thing right now, or not like the face elite. So him and Cody are in similar situations, except Cody's had a little bit more like high profile stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of the elite, the next match was the Young Bucks versus Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. And I told you, Luca, as soon as this match ended, I know you had a little bit of a different experience, so it really what happened with that match is you'll explain it. Yeah, you really didn't get to fully take in the match.
Yeah.
I might retract on my statement a little bit. I think it was one of the better matches of the night. I'm starting to take back the match of the night thing that I said. Just after thinking about it a little more. But either way, this match was extremely special, and I thought it was one of the better matches. And I was so impressed from this match.
I may not be in love with it as much as you, but it was really, really good. I think it was one of the better matches of the night, and it was great. Mox and Kingston coming out with wild things, and they were walking through the crowd. The crowd was loving them. Young Bucks were coming out to sort of a mixed reaction. I mean, some of the fans were like, "Oh, it's the Young Bucks, we gotta cheer," and a lot of them were like booing them because they're heels right now. I cheered for both just because I like both tag teams. I will say this. The fans are absolutely in love with Eddie Kingston. They were cheering Eddie so much. They cheered more for Eddie than they did Moxley, which was a surprise to me, but whatever. Really, really good match. Last, 10 minutes of it, I really didn't watch much of it because I went with, 4 of my friends to the pay-per-view, and one of my friends, in front of him was this guy, and this guy, you can see on video, did this. he fell sort of backwards. We thought it was like he was overreacting to like a move, because the second he did it, like someone like super kicked someone else, or it was something like that. And I was like, what an overreaction. No, it wasn't an overreaction. His friends had to like pick him up and like get like medical staff. It was either like a seizure or it was a heat stroke. It was one of those two things. I think it was heat stroke because he came back with like a Gatorade and a bottle of water. But yeah, he's fine, I think. But we literally thought he was dead for a second because his face was so pale. He was barely moving. He looked like he was like on a drug overdose or something. So for like the last 10 minutes of the match, I was more paying attention to what was happening in front of me instead of the actual match. But
Right.
I was like still seeing some of it. I know what happened. It was a weird ending. I get it. Like the second the match ended, I thought it was such a stupid ending. But looking back on it, I get it. With Moxley just being the beast that he is and not going down after a what's the move called again? V trigger, the elite trigger. What's it called?
The BTE trigger.
BTE trigger. That's what it's called. After, because it took like three of those to get him down.
Yeah.
I sort of get it. At first I thought it was stupid, but it's grown on me. But overall, to me, the match is about an 8 out of 10 too. I'll have to watch it back. I might be being a little harsh on it, but I still think it was really, really good.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. And then one last thing I'm adding. Nick Jackson, I almost thought it was Matt Jackson twice.
Because of the beard?
The fact that he grew that beard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick Jackson with a beard is kind of crazy. Like, I don't know how to feel about it still.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get it, but at the same time, it's just weird because Nick never has a beard.
Yeah, it's that heel mindset they're in. I guess. I don't know.
That's true. It pretty much is. But on to the next match. This was a great surprise. But for Luca, it wasn't a surprise at all. It was the Casino Battle Royal, or the Casino Battle Royale, in which Jungle Boy won the match.
Wait, how is it no surprise to me?
Didn't you predict Jungle Boy to win?
I predicted. Yeah, I said Jungle Boy or the mystery guest, because I thought the mystery guest was going to be Samoa Joe. I will get this out of the way first. I'll give my rating at the end. This is the best Battle Royale that's been in AEW. Hands down. At least in my opinion. This has by far been the best one. Clubs came out. That was Christian Cage, Matt Sydal, Powerhouse Hobbs, Dustin Rhodes, Max Caster. Christian Cage got a huge pop, as he should. Max Caster, always killing it with the rhymes. His little opening verse was so good. Screaming at Dustin Rhodes to look at him, telling Christian Cage that he hasn't been the same since he's lost his edge. Oh, it was so good. They did pretty good, besides the fact that Matt Sydal got like eliminated really quickly. I was hoping to see more from him. Then the Diamonds came out. Freaking Isaiah Cassidy, Matt Hardy, Preston Vance, Nick Comorto, however you say it.
Nick
Sorrentino. Matt Hardy got a little bit of a pop, as he should. My friend is a huge Jeff Hardy fan, so when he saw Matt Hardy, he freaked out. Then the Hearts came out. Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison got a little bit of a pop. And I liked seeing that. I was glad they got one. Colt Cabana, Anthony Bowens, Penta. Man, I love seeing Penta. As y'all know, I'm a big Lucha Bros fan, Death Triangle fan. So I was glad seeing him. Jungle Boy came out at the Spades little section. Everyone was singing that, like, oh. Everyone was doing that. Mark Quinn came out. I'm basically saying everyone. Aaron Solo. Evil Uno probably got, for entrance-wise, probably got the biggest pop in that Battle Royale. I don't know why, but he did. It was massive. And then Lee Johnson. And then the Joker. So the Joker I thought was going to be Samoa Joe. You said you thought it was John Silver, right?
I thought it was either John Silver or Christopher Daniels.
I think, as much as I love Samoa Joe, and I would want like a big name, like imagine Brock Lesnar or something like that. That'd be insane. Right. Leo Rush as the Joker is perfect. I think that was so good. The worst thing about it is that he was in the match for about 30 seconds. But I love seeing him. A part of me hopes he's not full-time, but I want to see a lot more of him in AEW. He doesn't need to be in every match, but I would like to see him in like do stuff. So I'm really happy he's there. Love this battle royal. The crowd went crazy for Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy's probably the most over star in AEW besides Orange Cassidy. That was an 8 out of 10 for me.
Okay. So just a couple notes for me. I feel a little less, excited about the battle royal. It's just, It's not that it was bad. It was just, I had a few things that really bothered me. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel that some of the competitors really didn't last long at all.
Yes, I agree.
And it kind of made me feel bad. For example, Matt Sydal, Max Caster, even Lio Rush. Mm-hmm. These guys got eliminated so quickly. Even number 10, Preston Vance.
Yes.
He didn't last long.
Yep.
And I thought he was going to be one of the favorites to win. Mm-hmm. That kind of didn't sit well with me. But other than that, yeah, like you said, I think Lio Rush was perfect. It was amazing. And also, like you, I hope he's not signing with AEW, because I know this is not about New Japan, but Lio Rush is perfect for New Japan. He would be great to go to Japan right now and compete with the juniors. It would be perfect. But you never know. They could always do, half and half.
I would like to see half and half. I think he's a great fit for either company. If he wants to say, hey, I'm going to spend a few years at New Japan, then I'll make the full, stay at AEW, or maybe vice versa, I'm cool with that. He's still pretty young, so time's on his side. He can do whatever he wants, pretty much. But yeah, I think the match gets a little higher, positive opinion in my eyes than you, because I watched it live. I feel like it's one of those things, if I was watching it at pay-per-view, I don't think I would have liked it as much. But it's still solid either way.
Also, the fact that Jungle Boy won and the crowd was in it, that really helped to make this a memorable moment. And then also Christian Cage having that moment with Jungle Boy at the end, just after the match, that was special.
I thought he was going to go heel. I always
think that.
I always think that too. Anytime there's a little thing after a match, I always think someone's going to go heel. But no, I think that was the right call to make him still be face and stuff. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree. All right, I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. Cody versus Anthony Ogogo. I didn't rewatch this match. I don't have any motivation to. I think this match is gonna be forgotten. When you look into Double or Nothing 2022 and you think back to the exciting matches of Double or Nothing 2021. I don't think anyone's bringing up Cody versus Anthony Ogogo.
Yeah, the match wasn't terrible, but it was by far the worst match of the night. A part of me, okay, first off, no one was on Anthony Ogogo's side. Every single fan there was cheering for Cody. I will say this. I don't think the match was supposed to end like that. Personally. If it was supposed to...
With the Vertebreaker?
I don't think so. Vertebreaker's a fine move, but just the pace of the match, where it ended, I was like, well, that was rushed. I think something went wrong, personally. Okay. But who knows? That could have been the legit ending. If that was a legit ending, then that's just weird. But say nothing went wrong and say that was the way the whole match was planned. It just wasn't for me. I can't really give it that high of a score. It's probably a 4.5 to a light 5 out of 10. It was just...
And I just want to add something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to add something just as a disclaimer. We're not saying this because we hate Cody. I feel like we're the only two Cody fans left on this earth because everyone has turned on Cody.
Is it because of that promo?
People just don't like Cody for some reason. They think that, Cody Rhodes is overhyped and overpushed.
Nah, if anything, Cody Rhodes is underrated. Some of his matches, he's really good. I think people might forget
I wouldn't say underrated.
Really, really good. Maybe not underrated, fair, yeah, but he is so talented. Yeah.
I guess where I'm getting this from, I think it's the same people who say that are the same people that think that the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are booking themselves as strong champions to never lose the titles. And I disagree with that completely.
I disagree too, because Young Bucks and Kenny will lose their belts this year. Just saying.
Yeah. I'm not
If
I'm not one of those people who think that it's another WCW situation. They're not booking themselves with the title forever
no, but I mean,
because they're EVPs.
yeah, but and fans need to look at it this way: it's Kenny Omega. He is arguably the best wrestler right now. He deserves to have the belt for a while. He shouldn't have it for 2+ years, but he deserves to have the belt for a little bit of time. Come on now.
Yeah. All right, but moving on, we have Miro versus Lance Archer, and this ended by submission. It was less than 10 minutes, 9 minutes, 50 seconds. I wish it went a little bit longer, but I get why. This was a long show because there were a lot of awesome matches on it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, one of the matches, you look down the cards, this was the shortest match on the pay-per-view because there were a good amount of matches that went over 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So this was just one of the matches that had to go 10. But props to Miro and Lance Archer because they made good use of 10 minutes. They had a pretty fun match. I don't know if it's going to be memorable, but I think it's fun. And I just want to say something too. For the people that think that Lance Archer was buried in that match, Lance Archer lost his 3rd match of the year. He's not buried. I don't understand why people say that. It pisses me off.
Even if he is buried, quote unquote, he's still going to be in some sort of like TV segment. He is talented. He is good. He's got Jake the Snake on his side. They're not going to just like throw him to the side if he gets buried. They're going to still put him in matches. But yeah, anyways, talking about this match, everyone was pretty much on the side of Miro, I'm pretty sure. There were some people cheering for Lance Archer, myself included. I knew Lance Archer had no chance of winning. I wanted him to, but he had no chance of winning. I like Miro too, so I was sort of like 50-50. But if I had to choose a side, I'd say Lance. But it was great. You were saying that this is the match that had to be cut short, and I really wish it wasn't. I wish this went on for at least like 3 more minutes.
Yeah.
Both men looked like they had so much more gas in the tank when this match was done. But it was, for what it was really good. I can't give it too high of a score, but I'm feeling like a 7 out of 10. For what it was really good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Miro has for the future because he's going to be a very good TNT champion.
Yes.
And I think especially because his next, title defenses will probably be on Dynamite, which means that they'll probably have more time.
Yeah. Yep.
And speaking of time, the next match had 17 minutes, and it was the match that we all knew the result. It was Hikaru Shida versus Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D. for the AEW Women's Championship, and Dr. Britt Baker finally did it. She won the belt.
Yeah, this match definitely had time. I'm still trying to figure out how to phrase this. There was a chunk in like the middle or maybe the first third was a little boring. The crowd was on Britt's side, but there was a lot of Shida fans. Honestly, it was probably like 60-40 Britt. I will say this. As boring as that little like first couple of minutes or like I don't know halfway of the match might be, the last like 5 minutes of the match completely make up for it. When I tell you I jumped out of my seat and almost fell into the next row when I saw Britt Baker hit a curb stomp on Shida, I'm not lying. That was probably the biggest pop for me that whole night. I couldn't believe that I just saw that. I wish I low-key recorded it, but I didn't. That was insane. But Shida and Britt Baker started turning into John Cena, kicking out of everything and stuff like that. But it was a good match. The right woman won. I can't give it like an incredible score because I just didn't enjoy it that much. I liked it. I did like it. And those last like 5-6 minutes was really, really good. I'd probably give this one a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10. I'm feeling an 8. I'll go with an 8. Yeah.
Yeah. I really think the result helped this match, be good. It was a very good match. Just, they had 17 minutes. They didn't have like 30.
Yeah.
But, they made use of their time. I think the drama was at an all-time high, especially, with Rebel, distracting the referee, the curb stomp onto the title.
Oh.
Just, it had all the drama it needed to.
I will say this right quick. I got
What?
2 things. First, Rebel, get rid of the freaking broken foot injury or whatever. She was not. I don't know if you could tell on TV, but she was not even selling the injury most of the time. She was walking normally.
Oh, she's not injured.
Then why she got the cane?
Yeah, she hasn't been selling that for a while.
Oh, okay. Well, this is when I first noticed it. That's just weird.
I feel like she just has it now.
Okay, maybe so. But I thought she was selling an injury. Also, why was Tony Schiavone hugging Britt Baker? I didn't know they had some sort of connection.
Oh, this goes back like all the way to like a year ago.
Oh, okay.
When Britt Baker basically was like, Tony Schiavone is my best friend.
I feel like I've heard that.
It was a whole
I feel
thing.
like I've heard that. Because when I saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, Tony. And I just couldn't figure out why he was hugging her. But yeah, okay.
This was mainly during the pandemic, like the pandemic dynamites that they filmed at the Nightmare Factory.
Gotcha, yeah. All I gotta say is watch out, Adam Cole. Your girl might be getting away from you by the lion tamer Tony Schiavone. I didn't think of a nickname for him.
Tony Schiavone with his wife and kids.
Anyways,
yes.
this video is going long. So anyways.
Next we have a tag team match between Darby Allin and, another legend, Sting, going against Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. I really liked this match.
I'm conflicted. I like all four guys in this match. Sting can still do it. He can still do it. Not long, but he can still do it. I don't know. I thought it was all right. Sting and Darby were gonna win. I wanted to see more of Ethan Page. That was pretty much what I was paying attention to this whole match, and I like him. Ethan Page is good. Same with Scorpio Sky, but I already knew that. But I just wouldn't. I'll never watch this match again. So yeah, for a really good match to me, it has to have some sort of like rewatchability to it. And personally, I don't think I'll ever watch this again. But it wasn't horrible. Pretty mediocre. I'd say a 5 out of 10. But it was cool seeing Sting live. Darby did all four guys did good. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, I agree. Seeing Sting jump off the poker chips, it blew my mind.
I was not expecting that. That was cool.
Like, I literally wasn't expecting that either. And whenever I see Sting take a bump, I get nervous.
Yeah.
But when he hit that crossbody, I was like, everything is good.
Yeah.
Everything is all good. And I like this match a little more. I think it had a purpose, and the purpose was Sting is back and Sting can wrestle.
Yeah.
It did exactly that. It showed Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, kind of elevated them. While even though they lost, they looked pretty good in this match. And then, made Sting look good. And then Darby Allin's Darby Allin. So it did its job. Yeah, you're right. I may never watch that match again, but at least it gave, the fans something to remember with Sting on top.
Yep, that's fair.
Now, moving on to the last championship match of the night. It was the three-way match for the AEW World Championship. Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy versus Pac.
Like other matches on this card, my feelings have changed a little bit since the night of the show. I could go on and talk about this match for a while, so I'll keep my thoughts short. It is a really good triple threat match. 8 out of 10. Probably, I can't see that score going down. I can only see it going up. I'll have to rewatch the match. A part of me wants to keep on saying the wrong man won the match, Kenny Omega retaining the belt. But at the same time, Orange Cassidy is super over with the fans. All the fans love him. But I can't see him being a legit, like, holding the number one belt right now. I don't really know how you would do that. Yeah, it's a really cool feeling to see him win it, but how do you build off of that? I don't really know. Pac, however you want to say it, because I always mispronounce it. Neville. Let's just call him Neville, his WWE name. He is so talented. He's so insane. He's amazing. I love him. I wanted him to win the match, but he's in this Orange Cassidy situation. The fans, he's not as over with the fans, but it's one of those things where you can't really build off him that much. He's just not that number one name like a Kenny Omega is. So Omega pretty much had to win this match. All three guys were insane. It was a really, really good match. I'm still not the biggest fan of the ending, but it does make sense. Just yeah, really want to see Pac hold a title one day. That's how I'll phrase this. But really good match. Not the best triple threat match of the year though. That still goes to the Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan Edge match, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I know. I hyped this triple threat match a lot in our pre-show predictions. Did it live up? I guess I had a little bit of too much expectations for this match. Mainly just because I was thinking about Kenny's last triple threat.
Yeah.
This was a lot different than Kenny's last triple threat match in New Japan. This is completely different. But I still really liked it. And I think something that kind of took away from this match is the fact that Kenny Omega is so above, he's so above Orange Cassidy and Pac that you kind of knew Kenny was not going to lose.
Yeah.
I could not see Kenny losing tonight, and obviously he didn't. But I still think this match was extremely good. It kind of surprised me how invested I was. There was only one other match, and that was the Young Bucks versus Eddie Kingston, Jon Moxley, where I was literally like smiling watching this match because every move had me invested. Like, I think it's just the drama of it all. And I know I said Britt Baker and Shida had that, but I think more so this match really had me on the edge of my seat. Like, there were moments in this match where I thought Orange Cassidy was going to win, and then Kenny comes to save it, or Pac comes and breaks up the pin. Like, there were so many of those moments in which I was literally like freaking out because I was like, no, Kenny, don't lose. That's what made it such a great match, because that's what gets, that's what makes good wrestling matches good wrestling matches. If it gets you emotionally invested.
Yeah. I think actually the number one, if this should have been the number one goal for this match, and if it was, I think it succeeded in it. To build Pac and Orange Cassidy as legit competitors. Pac's always been like a serious guy, but like, he's sort of like I've said, he's not a top guy. Orange Cassidy's more seen as like a comedic guy. This built both of those men as like serious competitors for title belts later this year or next year or whatever. So this match, if that was the job for this match, I think it did a really, really good job. Yeah.
Oh yeah. One more thing before we move on to the Stadium Stampede match. Orange Cassidy, I thought a lot about his career in AEW, like his future career after this match. I feel like he could definitely win the TNT Championship.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like he could be one of the few next in line to hold the title. I think
it
it'd
does
be perfect.
make sense.
As for Pac, I don't know about Pac though.
Yeah.
I like him a lot, but I don't see him holding a title in AEW unless it's the tag team championships.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of like the story of his whole career. Such a great wrestler, and what has he really had? The Cruiserweight Championship? I'm not even sure if he had that in WWE. I need to watch some of his Dragon Gate matches.
He did,
I haven't seen any of those. I need to watch those.
I know he had the Cruiserweight Championship because he had a good run there.
Yeah. But
the problem with Pac is not his wrestling ability. Just nobody's invested in him. And I think that's a terrible thing because Pac is awesome. I'm totally in on this guy. He's extremely talented. His character is amazing. But for some reason, he's not connecting.
I said this about Cody. I guess I think I was a little off my rocker with that one. But end of the day, Pac could go down as one of the most underrated wrestlers. Like, he's very, very good. He's so talented. And his mic skills aren't bad either. He doesn't promo a lot, but when he promos, they're not bad. I
think I'll go so much to say his promos are really good.
I agree, yeah.
Okay. Well, with that out the way, we're going to talk about the Stadium Stampede match. And before I really talk about it, I just want to preface and say we both picked the Inner Circle before the match even started, like in the pre-show. But I told Luca I was starting to have a little doubt that the Pinnacle... I felt like the Pinnacle could win but that would end up being wrong as the Inner Circle ended up winning.
I was pretty much always confident the Inner Circle were going to win. Especially since the last couple of minutes were outside with the crowd. I was like, no way are they going to have Shawn Spears pin Sammy Guevara. There was no way that was going to happen in front of the live crowd.
Yeah.
As much as I like Shawn Spears, that was not going to happen. It was a good match. It was way different than the first Stadium Stampede. This was more brutal. This was had some funny moments in it, the Urban Meyer stuff. But
Yeah.
it was the first one I think was way more comedic than this one. This is more brutal, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. It was good, but I don't know how much I'd go back to it. Like I've already gone back to the first Stadium Stampede match. I loved that one. This one was good. It was different. It's what it needed to be. It was a 7 out of 10 for me. I think it could have been a little better, but I'm not really sure how you would improve it. It's one of those things where you eventually like get to a point where you just think, you know what, it's good enough, because it's so hard to plan all this kind of stuff. So I think it could have been a little better, but it was not bad in any kind of way.
Props to both, factions.
Definitely.
For like this match. It was really well done. I agree with that. Very well done. I liked how they incorporated the crowd at the end, how they got into the crowd. I knew that was a big concern, was how are they going to incorporate the live crowd into a Stadium Stampede match? And they did a great job with it. And it was awesome to see. I'm sure it was even better in person. I know I saw videos from you, Luca, of Chris Jericho kind of, I guess he was on your level.
When he, I think, was powerbombed MJF, that was on the level that I was at. Yeah. It was cool.
And that's just awesome. That's awesome to see. So just all of that was great. With that being said, the thing that the complaint that I have is that this would be awesome if Blood and Guts never happened.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know why this happened after Blood and Guts.
I agree. We did not need both matches. I 100% agree.
I would argue that we could have had both matches.
I don't think.
We didn't need Blood and Guts first.
I get that too. I'll explain what. First, I wish Blood and Guts was the original thing. I wish it was the Elite with Matt Hardy or whatever versus Inner Circle. Obviously, that was not going to happen because that feud's been done and dusted. But a part of me still wish we had that match. The Pinnacle versus Inner Circle and Blood and Guts, I think, was okay. But that kind of match makes more sense to be the finale of a rivalry, not the start. That was, and so
I agree.
The placement of it, I definitely agree. It's weird and it's a little stupid. But again, I don't think no harm's done.
Yeah.
Where do they go after this? I'm not sure. Inner Circle's probably just going to do their thing. And I think the Pinnacle probably chase the belts. That would make the most sense. Get MJF versus Kenny Omega. That needs to happen.
You know what really got me worried? Is when people on social media said, can't wait for the trilogy. I said, please no. I don't want
it doesn't, but it could happen. I can see them doing that. But I hope it doesn't happen. But what kind of match?
I don't want it to happen. Just
tornado tag team match.
I'm being completely honest here. I wasn't wanting to see this match.
I'll be completely honest. After Blood and Guts,
I wasn't really too excited.
I was like, all right, the rivalry's done. I'm like, all right, Inner Circle lost. It's fine. Because you got to put over the Pinnacle. You got to put over the new faction.
I wasn't. Yeah.
I say
exactly
for the future for both teams. I think the Pinnacle needs to chase some belts, and I think we need to see Inner Circle versus Dark Order. But I know Dark Order is sort of feuding with the Matt Hardy business or whatever. I don't know.
Don't get me wrong. I'd maybe want to see the Inner Circle have a rivalry with this new Elite.
That would be good too. That would be insane. I kind of think that'd be
interesting.
And you could finally give. I mean,
Jericho versus Omega.
Or you could do Sammy versus Omega. You could. Sammy's over, dude. Sammy is over.
You could.
And Sammy's very, very, very good.
Hey, I tell you what. The Inner Circle versus the Elite, Santana and Ortiz beat the Young Bucks for the AEW World Championships.
I'm fine with
tag team belts.
With them doing that, proud and powerful. Or you could, you know what, do another triple. I don't know why I'm saying this. Another triple threat match: Sammy versus MJF versus Kenny, or Kenny versus MJF versus Jericho. Throw all of them in together. That'd be insane. I don't know. I don't think that would work as well as the past one. I'm sort of spitballing here. Anyways.
Yeah. I hope there's no 3-way title match anytime soon. I liked it as a one-time thing. I think it was really well done how they did it at Double or Nothing. With that being said, please don't give it to me again for a while.
I'm a person that really likes triple threat matches and fatal 4-ways. Something about them I like. I know it's sort of like some people hate them, some people like them. I personally really like them.
Yeah.
But before we're done, the Mark Henry thing. I didn't hear any kind of rumors of Mark Henry coming out. That was the biggest surprise of the night. His pop was pretty good. He didn't get as big as a pop as like Jungle Boy did, surprisingly. But Mark Henry, that was insane. To me, at least.
Let's go into that a little bit. I know we've been on here for a little bit, but just one last thing with the Mark Henry thing. Yeah, that was a shock, but I'm a little lost. They said an analyst for Rampage, right? There's no analysts on Dynamite. There's no analysts in AEW until now.
Well,
I wonder what that means.
Rampage is only
analyst.
going to be an hour long, right? And it's going to be a continuation of what happened on Dynamite. I see him as maybe an analyst, someone who recaps what happened on Dynamite, someone who's maybe like a host almost. That's how I sort of think he's going to be. And that sort of makes sense. Mark Henry, a lot of people know who Mark Henry is. So if they switch over on Rampage and they see Mark Henry introducing the next match or something like that, they'd be like, oh, Mark Henry. So if that's what they're going for, it could work. It's a little different, but it could work. Maybe that's what they do. I'm not sure.
I think it leads me to believe that the format of the show is going to be really different than what people are expecting. Because, when I think Rampage, I'm thinking it's another hour of wrestling, but this could be really different.
Matches on it, but I think it could be more storyline progression stuff than like fighting. I don't know.
Okay, when I thought analyst, I was thinking like, what if AEW did, what the NBA on TNT does, with you got Chuck,
trying to make it more realistic and
Kenny
stuff.
the Jet Smith,
which.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that in my head, like
maybe
thinking about analysts.
This is
you got Mark Henry. You got Tony Schiavone. Paul White.
This is the company that tries to make it realistic, saying wins and losses matter, all that kind of stuff. So to have,
they're trying to be more sports based.
Of like analyzing why this wrestler is like so good and stuff like that, and like blah 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 is better than blah blah blah. That's not a bad idea, but that.
Even if that's not what Rampage is, I still think it should happen.
That maybe should be a part of it. If it was all of that, I think some fans would get a little pissed. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that for the full hour. I'd do it for a little bit and then have a couple matches on there. But that remains to be seen, and we're gonna sign off here. We've been here for a little bit, but if you enjoyed this, AEW Double or Nothing review, give it a like, share it with those who maybe didn't watch the show, and until Friday's Dynamite, we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.